welcome to day 25 of intermittent fasting. So this morning I got home, I made the lentil loaf, I worked with Preston on his report, and we got the couple pages of the graphic organizer taken care of, and the lentil loaf actually turned out really well. It's a great recipe. I definitely would keep it. I actually haven't tried it yet, but Anthony did, and he said that it was really good. It needed more ketchup, he thought. So I think that probably what that means is that it just probably needs a little bit more flavor in general. So next time I make it, I will probably put a little bit of the better than bouillon in with the vegetables when they're cooking with the lentils, and that should take care of that. So I'm really excited about trying that. And then so last night was the whole 10 to 6 thing, which was fine when I went to bed, but I woke up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and couldn't go back to sleep, and I was starving. So I probably in hindsight should have just gotten up and just been up for the rest of the day, but I was tired and I really wanted to go back to bed, but I wasn't going to be able to fall back asleep because I was so freaking hungry. So my husband brought me he made some soy curls in broth with some peppers and onions. So he brought me a bowl of that, and I ate it, and it was delicious, and I fell back asleep at like 4:30, and slept for another hour and a half. So actually probably closer to 2 hours. But anyways, intermittent fasting for the day has been defeated. So that's kind of a bummer. But that being said, you know, one mistake, you just get back on track and get things going again. Man, it is so freaking windy out. Holy crap. Okay, so going to go home in the morning, and Preston's going to work on his outline sitting at the kitchen counter, and I am going to make pies. So I need to make, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. So I'm going to make a pumpkin pie and a pecan pie, and then I'm going to try to make a sunflower seed pie that would be a pumpkin pie, that would be a pecan pie, but with sunflower seeds. Not sure how that's going to work out. We shall see. But hey, you gotta try something new, right? So anyway, today is Tuesday, tomorrow is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. So for Thanksgiving, I need to have pies ready, so I'm going to make those tomorrow morning. And so tonight, I brought with me for food, I have a container that has some of the lentil loaf, some rice, and wax beans, which sounds like the awesomest combination you could ever come across in your life, and a bowl of the kale and chickpea soup. So I am set for the night. I am super excited about food. But that's it for me. I have to go into work, and I will talk to you guys again later. And yeah, I'm really glad this morning that, in case you saw yesterday's video, I'm really glad that I did not take a picture of that wreck on my way by, because I'm pretty sure it was a fatality wreck. It was a mess. It was pretty awful. They were cleaning up charred parts of vehicles off the road, and 2 vehicles were still at the scene. I'm not sure how many were involved total, but the one didn't look like it could possibly have had somebody get out of it alive, honestly. It was pretty bad. I'm hopeful. Hopefully everybody was just fine, but I don't know. Seeing as one of the cars went up in charred up pieces, probably not such a good thing. That's really a bummer. But anyways, I'm gonna go into work, and I will talk to you guys again, probably not tonight, maybe tonight, but definitely tomorrow. So talk to you later. Bye. All right, guys. So I went to work last night, and I worked, and I ate food a little bit later than normal. I wanted to eat from 10 until 6, but I was very busy and didn't eat till about 11:30. Actually, it was 11:15-ish. Actually, that's not true either. About 10:45. Okay, so about 10:45. And I was really busy, and then never did eat again. But I ate my lentil loaf and rice with wax beans, and it was fabulous. super delicious. I definitely would adjust the lentil loaf recipe to have some bouillon when I'm cooking the vegetables. But depending upon which dietary plan I do next, which 30-day challenge I do next, at some point in time I will make a video for you guys on how to make that lentil loaf. It was really good. So I ate that, and then I didn't eat again at all. So I got home, and I don't want to play the same game as yesterday. I don't want to be up in the middle of the day. So I had a bowl of rice. I actually had a bowl and a half of rice, and it was super good. And I visited with my husband for a little bit while he was eating his apple and peanut butter. And I am now starting work on pies. So tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so I'm making pies today so that they will be ready by tomorrow afternoon when we go to eat, tomorrow evening. I've got 2 pumpkin pies that are in the they're not in the refrigerator, that are in the oven baking. They have a few more minutes to go at 425 before I decrease them to 350. And then I just started working on the pecan pies, and I don't have enough pecans. Actually, Anthony asked me when we were at Costco this last time, do you have enough pecans? And I said, well, yeah, because the bag that I remember having in the freezer was never opened. The bag that we have in the freezer should have had 8 cups in it. It had about 3. So I'm making a double batch, so I needed 5 cups of pecans. So Anthony has run to Kroger, which is literally just up the street. It'll probably take him about a half an hour, and maybe a little bit longer with the traffic at this time of day, to get there and get back. So I'm going to make that. And then I'm also going to make I'm kind of up in the air about whether I should make an apple pie for the boys or whether I should just go ahead and try. I want to make them a sunflower seed. I made them a sun butter pie that I don't think worked out very well. They like the flavor of it, but it's not a good consistency. I don't like the consistency at all. So I think that I'll make them a sunflower seed pecan pie. So instead of having pecans in it, it'll have sunflower seeds, and I can adapt everything else in there to, the only thing is that I have to use real eggs, which is kind of a bummer. I can't use the flaxseed, but I can use the besan flour like I am with our pecan pie. So yeah, no, that's just fine. So yeah, totally gonna be just fine. Yep, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to make them that. And I actually might get started on that now. How long does that pie cook? That pie only cooks for 35 minutes. So I might get started on that now and have it ready to go in the oven when the pumpkin pies are done, and then the pecan pies can go in. So the first time I made a pecan pie, never in my life have I made a pecan pie until 2016, I believe, Thanksgiving, so a year ago. And my first attempt was not good. So I was upstairs and I came downstairs and I didn't smell anything off at that point, but Connor was sitting in the living room and had kind of an angled look at in the kitchen, and he goes, "Mom, you should look at this." And I was like, "Why? What's going on?" He said, "There's a lot of I don't think he said smoke. I think he said there's a lot of clouds. I'm not 100% sure what he said, but a lot of clouds or smoke, whatever he said, coming out of the oven." Yes, there was. So the whole entire inside of the oven was billowing smoke because the pecan pie had boiled over, and there was, obviously it's just sugar, so there was sugar on everything in the oven. It was such a mess, and it was really cold out at that particular time, and so I had to open up all the windows that go this direction in the house and brought a big huge fan out and was trying to blow the billowing smoke out of the house. It was awful. So yeah, that was a bummer. So I know better than to do that again. So yeah, there's a baking sheet under a pecan pie whenever it gets made. Even if I've used the appropriate size container in which to cook it, it's still getting a pan underneath it for sure. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go work on making the boys their pecan pie that is made with sunflower seeds instead of pecans. And if Preston ever comes downstairs, which I'm thinking he's not planning on it, I'll get him to start working on his outline for his compare and contrast essay. And otherwise, I am going to putz in the kitchen probably until about 9 or 10. And then when I'm done with that, I'm gonna go to bed. And I'm not gonna be hungry today because I had rice when I came home, and I'll be totally stuffed and wonderful and ready to go. So it'll be just fine. So that's my story. And I'm sticking to it. I'm a pie making person right now, so that's what I'm gonna go do. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.